Never had they seen such a strange village before. The villagers took one step out of the village, they would disappear for no reason at all. If something red appeared, they would attract a monster that ate people. On this day, the not-so-smart Jack, he pulled a bunch of red fruits out of his pocket as if to show off. His companion Amy was so frightened that she rushed to cover it up, but it was too late. The villagers who were on guard at night still found a man-eating monster in a red robe was moving towards the village. He raises the alarm. Everyone was put on emergency alert to avoid the monster's attack. Every house had built a basement, and at this time, the young children, unaware of the world, were still playing outside the house. Tom was so desperate that he drove people home as he hid from the red-robed monster while checking on the villagers' escape, afraid that one of them might be left behind. While Amy was standing in the doorway, waiting with open arms for Tom to arrive. To her surprise, she was waiting for the red-robed monster, looking at Amy's hands resting in midair. The monster shyly thought it was an invitation to him, and when he tried to take it, but then Tom arrived and cut him off. He took Amy into the basement and hid. The villagers were too afraid to make a sound. They listened in silence to the monster's impotent roar outside the door. It wasn't until early the next morning they crawled out of the basement. The monster was long gone. Luckily, there were no casualties, except that he had painted a red line on the door of every house. Each house had a red line painted on it. The elders saw this as a warning from the monster. Someone must have broken the pact. Sneaking into the forest had angered him, and so it came to this. Tom had to confess everything, that he had wandered into the forest and saw the red fruit. That's what made the monster angry. The village chief only gave him a few words of advice, and the first thing to do was to calm the monster down. So, on the pretext of a wedding celebration in the village, he sent the monster raw meat to apologize. He thought that was the end of it. Everyone was in the happy mood of the wedding. Suddenly the calm was shattered by a scream. The bear children came running to tell the elders that they had found many skinned animal carcasses. The village was covered in signs of the monster. The whole village is on edge. Unable to sleep, Amy went to the door to get some fresh air, only to find Tom sitting on the doorstep. So he was here. He was there to keep Amy safe. Tom finally confessed his love to Amy. The two lovers were finally married. The next day, the news that they were getting married, word spread throughout the town. Soon after, their best friend Jack came to the door, thinking he had come to congratulate them. Tom invited him in with great enthusiasm. Before he could say a few words, Jack took a dagger and stabbed him in the stomach. Tom instantly fell to the ground. Jack had always had a crush on Amy, because Amy was the only one who didn't think he was intellectually challenged and would play with him, but now Tom was going to steal Amy away from him. He couldn't accept this no matter what. It wasn't until Jack's parents found their son's hands covered in blood before they realized something was wrong. Amy rushed to Tom's house. No one answered her screams until she kicked Tom on the ground, and she knelt down in disbelief. She made sure it was Tom who had had an accident. It was a good thing Tom was still breathing. It's just that the village doctor said he was too badly injured. He was at risk of death. This came as a shock to Amy. She was furious and found Jack in custody, slapping him across the face one by one. But even then, Tom wouldn't wake up, so she went to her father, the village chief, and offered herself to go through the scary forest to the nearby town to buy